this is kind of a bonus piece of audio.
Yeah.
From the Cannon Canon Podcast. Myself, John E. Capcom, and yourself, Sean Sheridan.
Hello.
And we make a lot of references to the world of professional wrestling in our shows, the Cannon Canon Podcast. I don't think to the point where we suffocate the show.
Yeah.
I think you can get along. If you don't, there's just little in-jokes in there.
I've shown the podcast to people who know nothing about wrestling, don't follow it at all.
The majority of the talk is about the movies.
Yeah.
But we if there's wrestling fans out there, there's a lot of little jokes in there for you, such as the Big Boss Man music. And
you had to do it, didn't you?
It's our theme tune.
Yeah, I suppose we're doing a wrestling podcast. It makes sense.
All right. And... there's that. There's plenty of little things like in there for wrestling fans to pick up on that. Would be, it might go over your head as a non-wrestling fan, but let's face it, we talk about such a diverse amount of crap anyway.
Yeah.
That there's a lot of shit that might be going over people's heads.
All of our weird retro obsessions start to seep into our podcast as it is. So.
But the reason we're talking about wrestling is one, obviously, as we're speaking, you're out of the country.
That is true, yeah.
And I'm still in Galway. And I'm alone and wanting to listen to a conversation I've had with you about wrestling, so I don't feel like throwing myself into the car. Just out of, abject loneliness.
No, I doubt that's what's happening right as people are listening to this. Chances are you're just wandering around the house naked.
Yeah. Or I'm already dead.
Yeah, scaring the shit out of the cat.
I said, or I'm already dead.
One or the other. One or the other.
Only the only two outcomes.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing about Galway City. If you see a missing pet, it's like, yeah, that's coming back. You see a missing person, he's in the car.
Yeah.
It's just the fucking way it is around here. I don't know what.
But anyway, the reason we figured we would talk about professional wrestling is because we have a video project that's out at the moment. That there's 2 episodes live on YouTube where the account Zombie Floor Cleaner, where that's ZOMBI Floor Cleaner. That's the account that has stored our Cannon Canon episodes. As we speak, Breaking and Envision USA are up, but I'm sure there are more up at the moment. That's where Titanus NL Ring is also housed.
Yeah.
And Titanus NL Ring is like Chikara, but in the 70s.
Yeah.
I read a book by Oliver Hurley called Wrestling's 101 Strangest Matches.
Yeah.
And in that book, he had not a chapter, but a section about Martin Kardashian versus La Momia.
Yeah.
And that's one we've covered and will release to the world, but eventually. But it's just I heard there's this crazy Argentinian promotion that existed from the 60s to the early 90s.
Yeah.
And that was basically professional wrestling, obviously, and I won't use the word fake to describe it, but it is a performance art.
Yeah.
It's athletic performance art. And for the majority of its time as an art form in the public eye, it has tried to replicate real sport and competition.
Yeah, as best it can.
Yeah, while marrying that to drama. You go back and look at legit champions. Harley Race, fucking Luthez, Ricky Dozan,
Jack Briscoe,
and
up to modern day Brock Lesnar.
Fucking pick any man. There's a man here for any man.
Yeah,
someone's got to fuck today.
Yeah,
but, there's usually a realism is at least reached for.
Yeah,
not in Titanus NL Ring.
God no.
In one of our first bouts, we provide commentary for an android fights.
Yeah.
I won't spoil the matches for you, but at the moment we've got Julio Cesar versus El Diablo and El Androida versus I think it's Attila the Hun, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
that's a weird thing as well. Titanus NL Ring, it's clearly marketed towards kids.
Yeah. But they never bothered to try to make it real.
But in this show that's marketed to kids, they have characters based on Julius Caesar, Attila the Hun, Satan.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe the historical education system in Argentina was really strong back then.
It could well have been. I don't know.
But or maybe these people are adults and they're finally opening a history book now and they're like, Jesus Christ, I thought that guy was a wrestler. I thought Attila the Hun died at the hands of Martin Kardashian in 1978. But yeah, we really recommend you checking out that show.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. We're going to record a lot more in the future.
Yeah, I had a great time doing it.
It's 2 or 3 minutes out of your day, and you're gonna laugh at least once or twice.
It's
not what we say
Yeah.
at the matches, and I wouldn't want. We're not. One of the reasons we're doing this podcast, I like to think in a weird way, but one of the reasons we do, the main reason we do Titanis in the Ring, we're not. We do make fun of Titanis in the Ring. As you said, the action is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And if you're going to be ridiculous, don't be complaining when someone ridicules you.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And it is proper ridiculous, this Titanis in the Ring. However, we came at it out of a wish to illuminate this product to the English-speaking world.
Yeah.
And because we love it as we love all wrestling.
Yeah. And if we can show you something cool that chances are you've never seen or never would see otherwise.
Yeah.
I'm all for that.
Like, I know we only got to know each other in our late 20s.
Yeah.
But I know we were both teenagers who would have watched any wrestling.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I watched Battle Dome because I knew on one episode WCW's guys turned up.
Yeah. Hard Body Harrison or some shit
DDP
like that.
turned up to take on fucking whatever shitty American Gladiator knockoff they had.
Probably gave the diamond cutter to Terry Crews or something.
Something like that. Was he on Battle Dome?
Yeah, he was G-Money in Battle Dome.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
There you go.
Long time ago.
But I watched all the episodes of Thunder in Paradise.
Yeah. I really wish I hadn't, but I did. It was terrible.
With old cunt Hogan.
Yeah.
But
and all the way up to like weird IWA death matches.
Oh yeah, I had the tapes. I still have the tapes.
And you ever see that tape of FMW Pogo jumping off the bridge? No, it was Onita who jumped off the bridge.
After they won the deathmatch tournament and he jumped into the river, which was polluted, and he had to go straight to hospital because he had like toxic shock syndrome or something.
And they filmed that. Japanese deathmatch wrestling, it was like Jackass before Jackass.
Yeah,
only with a bit of competition.
It was like it was like Jackass mixed with like Live League.
Yeah,
it's the best way. It's just like body horror wrestling.
Yeah, mixed with oh my god, I dare you to do that.
I always say like my fondest memory of FMW is they used to show it on the wrestling channel.
Yeah,
and I remember like watching a movie with a girlfriend, and she fell asleep. Like she was probably thinking we're watching this nice romantic movie, and I can nuzzle into my boyfriend and sleep in his arms, and he'll sit there and watch this movie, and I can wake up whenever I want, and the movie will still be playing. She woke up when I was watching FMW. She said, "What's that? Why is that man stabbing that man with a sickle?" And I was like, "We're not watching American Ninja. We're watching FMW." But
no, she was probably thinking he'll watch this film that I really like and he'll understand what I think about love.
Yeah.
And then when she wakes up, it's like, oh no, it's Mr. Pogo and Terry Funk stabbing each other with railroad spikes.
Why is there two letter faces?
Makes no sense.
I started watching wrestling when I was about 4 or 5 years old. I'm sure it was probably the same for you.
It was later in life for me. It was about I think I was about 10, 11 sort of age when
So 93, 94?
92, 93 sort of time, yeah.
Okay. That sounds about right because...
No, you're right the first time, 94, yeah. Sorry.
But, now for me, like, I got started really early because I had a lot of older friends.
Yeah.
Like, say when I was about 4, I had friends who were, like, say 10 at the time because I lived on, like, a street where there was no real age gap between people hung out.
Yeah.
So they all like wrestling. So obviously I had to like wrestling too. And I remember I remember seeing like these monster dudes. I don't remember my first years of watching wrestling.
Yeah.
That's the truth of it. But I do remember in detail. I remember Hogan. I remember Macho. I remember guys like that. But now for me, like the times I really mainly because I liked it, but I wasn't invested. I was a fucking 4-year-old. I didn't know what I liked.
Oh, of course not.
But now I remember what really bit it for me was like the Warrior when I was about 5 and 6. Ultimate Warrior, Macho Man, Hogan, that like Ric Flair, that kind of era. But I remember when British Bulldog was on top in 91, 92, and wrestling took off in Europe like nobody's business.
That's part of the reason I got into it, because back then they had these things. It was like chewing gums with like stickers of the wrestlers.
Yeah.
And that was like fucking, that was like Pogs on my school playground. It was just like a fad for a while.
You trade the wrestler stickers and all that.
And for some reason, believe it or not, we're going to do a double here.
Yeah.
Because one of the rare ones that was like, you could trade like 5 different stickers for was one of the Big Boss Man.
Oh!
And no, that's genuinely true. I'm not being a cunt.
Easy job for our
Yeah, exactly. And I just remember looking at these things going, fuck it, the British, he's a big fucker, that lad, It's like, Jesus him. And one evening I was hanging out with a mate of mine, and we went to like the local video shop, and we rented out like a 92 urine review.
Nice.
Because we thought, okay, that's a good start.
A swat.
Yeah, it's a good swat. And one of the few matches they had almost in its entirety was Bret Hart and the British Bulldog.
One of the greatest matches of all time.
Yeah. And I remember watching that just thinking, this is fucking amazing.
I remember going into my friend Adrian's house the day he was watching SummerSlam 92. And I remember they were going, get in right now, Bulldog and Bret's about to start. And we just sat down, and like I just remember, like, I didn't know what a great match really was back then, like, because I was just like, who did Hogan win? It was the best match ever.
Yeah, you know what of course.
Because you're a kid and you're a fucking idiot, like,
yeah.
Well, I do remember going, I don't know why that was better than all the matches I've ever seen.
Yeah,
but it was better than all the matches I've ever seen. But anyway, look, that's kind of our introduction. But we've been wrestling fans ever since we were kids.
Yeah,
So look, I'm going to ask you, and I'm going to answer these questions as well.
Okay.
Right, for the duration here, just a couple of nice loose questions so people can get to know our passion for the world of professional wrestling. Sure. So, past and present, who are your favorite wrestlers?
Favorite wrestlers? Let me see. Present, it'd probably be like a Punk, CM Punk and Daniel Bryan. Like in the modern era, would probably be my top two. Love me some Sami Zayn. I think he's fantastic. He's like modern day Spider-Man. And in the past, Bret Hart is up there, obviously. Like the old fucking undead Undertaker. Me being a kid watching that, just I wasn't really into horror movies at the time. That was like one of my first exposures to what you could call paranormal. Yeah. It was like, that's fucking cool. I love that. And I love me some Macho Man. You can't not.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, there is nothing like Macho Man. There will never be anything like Macho Man again. Yeah. Dusty Rhodes for the exact same reason. I fucking I loved the Legion of Doom. That's what I knew them as, the Legion of Doom.
Yeah. Animal and Hawk.
Yeah. No, mind your Road Warriors nonsense. They weren't coming out with spikes on them and like a little doll. So I don't give a shit. But those are my guys.
For me, like, presently, Shinsuke Nakamura of New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Oh, that mental case.
One of my absolute favourite wrestlers. One of the most compelling human beings in the world is one of my favourites at the moment. Kenny Omega as well in the Bullet Club. Yeah. I love the Bullet Club in general. They're my favourite faction. They're just awesome. And if you're not watching New Japan Pro Wrestling, you really should check it out. Like, I would very much recommend checking out Wrestle Kingdom from earlier in this year.
Nakamura versus Ibushi is...
Jesus Christ.
Every wrestling snob, that's their match of the year.
It's as good as wrestling gets.
Oh, it really is. It truly is.
But, I love those guys. In WWE, I am a big fan of Seth Rollins. Yeah. I think Seth is fucking great. And I used to like him all that much. But I think as a heel champion, the guy's great. Yeah.
I was a big booster of him, and it took a while for you to come around.
I'm willing to admit I was wrong. Yeah. But Seth I really like. I love Brock. I think Brock's fucking fantastic.
Oh, yeah, Brock is just a different animal altogether. Like
Finn Balor, of course, or otherwise known as Prince Devitt.
Yeah, our boy,
who I saw wrestle in a gym or a theater in Athlone. With Good Brother Editor, and we went to see him wrestle on his last tour of Ireland before he went off to WWE. Which is really awesome because I remember I'll never forget seeing him on Irish Whip Wrestling's Whiplash TV.
Yeah.
And there's all these guys who are just out of shape. And next thing there's this dude with abs and real wrestling boots. We're like, where the fuck is he from? America? Why, he's from Bray. Where did he get his boots? You know? I thought you had to find your boots, you know?
You remember you were telling us the table spot from Matt Lone?
Oh, yeah. Like, this is like a fucking theatre with like maybe 120 people in it. And him and this guy are doing double foot stomps through tables and breaking fucking ironing boards and shit, like, you know? But Finn Balor, I'm a huge fan of. I'm trying to think who else I like. Antonio Cesaro, I've always been a fan of.
Yeah.
But when he was Claudio Castagnoli in Chikara, that's where I got to know him.
I loved the Claudio Castagnoli gimmick in Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
He only did it for a while, whereas, like, I'm Claudio Castagnoli, and I'm very European.
The most money-making man in professional wrestling.
Yeah, from the United Banks of Switzerland.
Yeah.
I loved that.
At the moment, like, there's a lot of tag teams I'm enjoying as well. I'm enjoying New Day a lot, and I enjoyed Cesaro and Kid a lot. And
I know you're a mark for the primetime
players. I love the primetime players, mainly because... Like, Darren Young's actually getting really good as an in-ring wrestler, but I just fucking love Titus O'Neil. I don't know what it is about that dude. He's just awesome, like, you know.
Yeah, you're getting the JYD fucking, shake off him. Can't work worth a lick, but
his
something about him.
Falling all over him, like, you know. But in the past, I mean, my favourite wrestlers of the past are Legion. Yeah. Like, Legion of Doom.
Yeah.
But, you know, like, obviously Legion of Doom I was a big fan of when I was a kid. I mean, Bret Hart, Owen Hart, those were huge, big favourites for me when I was a kid. British Bulldog. I fucking hated Shawn Michaels when I was younger. Yeah. Because he was a shitty, like, he was a shitbag as a heel. Yeah. Right? And then when he was a babyface, I fucking hated him more. Yeah. Right? When he won the title from Bret in 95, I was like, fuck this, I'm watching WCW.
Yeah. It's like, oh, I'm sexy. Don't you all love me? Yeah, it's like, no, fuck off.
Fuck off. When Sid beat him for the belt, I was happy. Right? When he lost his smile, I was like, good, I hope you don't find it. But I didn't like it. However, Jesus Christ, 2002 to 2010 Shawn Michaels might be the greatest wrestler of all time.
Quite possibly,
like, Christ, alright? Like, Undertaker, obviously, I mean, Stone Cold Steve Austin, fucking, I mean, Hogan, like, that guy was such a big star. Yeah. And, like, was so over with me as a kid, like, you know. But, like, from the past, if you're talking about, like, and guys who I was a mark for, like, Macho, Hogan, Warrior, Bret, like, all the big guys from that, Undertaker, all the rest, but, like, of all time, like, there's other guys than when I got into as a teenager, like Ric Flair. Yeah. I mean, Ric Flair, when he came along in 91 in WWF, changed my fucking world, as he did a lot of people's, like, you know. But, like, Ric Flair in the 1980s, his run in the 80s is... It is almost peerless in the world of art.
It's weird, because a lot of these matches that he's famous for in the 80s, I'm only seeing now. You know, with the WWE network and everything. Yeah. And I'm looking back at it as like, yeah, he was the real fucking deal.
Oh, look, he was the 60-minute man. He could talk. He looked great. He could wrestle. Yeah. You know, I mean, I'm forgetting about ECW here, which is... Like,
my list was by no means a complete list. There's tons more.
But, you know, like, when I was a kid, like, I mean, if we talk about promotions, you know, a lot of people only think WWE is the only wrestling promotion. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, I have loved WWE, WWF at various intervals. Yeah. They're not easy to love all the time.
Yeah, you have to love them because they won't love you back. Yeah. That's like, one thing I'm learning in the last...
New generation, Hogan era, fun. If you're a kid, it was great to watch. Yeah. Right? But I mean, as soon as WCW came along, and now there's all this revisionist history where they're going, oh, WCW bought fans. They sent fans checks to watch Nitro every week. No. You know why we were all watching Nitro? Because it was fucking better. Yeah. All right?
Because they had Chris Benoit, they had the Luchadors, they had
Eddie Guerrero, Chris Jericho, fucking the Steiner Brothers, the Legion of Doom,
Harlem
Sting,
Heat.
Fucking Booker T and Stevie Ray.
And they had the NWO,
which hottest fucking thing in the world.
Yeah, and it was one of the greatest fucking gimmicks of all time.
Yeah, WCW,
for a while at least.
Why was it winning? Because it was better. Yeah. They also had Macho Man, they had Piper, they had Flair, they had fucking... That company was... And they had all the Japanese talent. They had Liger, they had fucking...
And they had Lex Luger as well.
They did. And Luger was a star.
Yeah, for the one and only time in his 4% career.
4% body fat.
Yeah.
And
you want to fight me? You want to fight 6'4", 250 pounds, 4% body fat? You're on.
Your t-shirts are too tight too, Billy. But yeah, I mean, promotions like ECW, for my money, best promotion in the 1990s.
Yeah,
in ring,
phenomenal.
and there's no better storylines in any company at that time. And if anyone wants to argue that, I'll just say, pick your favourite storylines in WCW, WWF. Yeah. Guess what? They were probably ripped off Paul Heyman ideas.
Yeah, because Paul Heyman understood one thing about wrestling. And it's been said before, wrestling isn't really wrestling. Wrestling is melodrama. You know what I mean? It's
well, the thing about Heyman is he just knew how, like, that guy, if he had the money to retain a roster of the level of a financial level of WCW or WWF, we wouldn't, like, there wouldn't have, like, he wouldn't have let the momentum, like, if he had Ted Turner's money, WWF might be dead in the fucking water now.
And when he did have Vince's talent pool, he created something fucking cool.
Oh yeah, you know? And for my money, the greatest living, like, mind in professional wrestling is Paul Heyman, and you just need to look at his promos today, like, to see that. Like,
that is very true.
And but anyway, like, ECW, I loved. Like, do you remember all the mental promotions though from back then?
Oh, like Michinoku Pro and
Smoky Mountain.
Yeah, and Smoky Mountain was a bit of an anachronism for me. Yeah, because I wasn't used to Southern style at all. I grew up on, like, WWF. Yeah. So that's what I was used to, like big guys, big roid monkeys. Yeah. Fucking pose downs and all, and then Hulk Hogan saluting the flag at the end of the show, And then I came across, like, dirty white boy Tony Anthony. And fucking...
Just a fucking...
Tracy Smothers, wild-eyed Southern boy.
If Dirty White Boy Tony Anthony had been an Irish wrestler, he would have been called the Fat Chav Tony Anthony.
Yeah, pretty much. Because that's what the fuck he was.
But, I remember one of my favourite promos of his was he claimed to be from New York City, despite the fact that he had a thick Tennessee accent. And he's filming a promo, and he said, "I'm in Central Park," and he's just filming him in front of some trees.
Well,
and he claimed to be in the middle of New York City while being in, like, Missouri.
Well, in fairness, Smoky Mountain had a bit of a history of not being very geographically accurate. If you remember when the gangsters came in, the gangsters, New Jack and Mustafa Saeed. It was a gimmick based on the Crip Street Gang. Yeah. And they were billed as being from South Central LA.
Yeah, and the people thought it was South Central Louisiana.
Yep. So you could probably get a bit of geographical, of tomfoolery over that audience.
But, like, Smokey back then was cool. Weird, like, but cool. Like,
they had the Thrill Seekers.
Rock God. America. But they're going to rock and roll all over these great United States. But they had those. Then at Smokey, you had fucking, like, FMW in Japan, which you discussed around, like, deathmatch wrestling.
Yeah, which looking back on now,
IWA Japan. Yeah, like, it had its time.
Do you remember a promotion called Big Japan Pro Wrestling?
Big Japan's still going.
Really? Yeah. Because Big Japan was, for my money, the most mental of the lot. Not in terms of, like, scale, but just in terms of, like, the little things they did.
Big Japan Pro Wrestling famously had set builders from the pornography industry build an entire set house inside the Budokan Hall. And they had 3 days of matches inside this set. And you have to see this shit to believe it. Like.
And did you see the one they did, the sauna death match?
No.
It was like a 6-man tag fight in a massive sauna.
I remember famously, it was Big Japan did the match where they hired a shopping centre. Yeah. Like,
and they just set their, well, they let the security and the cops know what was going to happen. Yeah. And then they just set these big, fat, out-of-shape fucking deathmatch wrestlers.
Like Shadow WX.
Yeah. To knock the fuck out of each other while there were people going around like buying earrings or sandwiches,
They wrecked the place.
They savaged the gaff.
But they did DDT at the moment, of course, do the outdoor matches.
Yeah.
And current WWE star Sami Zayn, you can find him under his guise as El Generico wrestling in like summer camps.
That's right, yeah.
Him and Kenny Omega and guys like that, like doing fucking matches just like in parks,
yeah,
and shit. Like, it's amazing. And they turn up in their tights, and fans just crowd around and watch them do their thing. But yeah, like a lot of the there's a lot of great promotions. I mean, at the moment, what would your favorites be to watch?
My favorites to watch these days. Well, NXT, obviously.
That, yeah.
It's a super indie. Like, Triple H decided, I want to run my own thing, and I'm going to buy up all the good indie talent to fill my roster. And he did, and it's fucking great.
It's the best written wrestling product there is.
Yeah.
Like,
I have a bit of an on-again, off-again love affair with Lucha Underground.
Yeah, I like Lucha Underground.
I'll watch about like 3 or 4 episodes in a row.
Yeah.
And then I'll just go, I don't need to watch this again for a while. Yeah. And then I'll come back and it's like, oh, this is amazing. Why did I stop watching? And I just go through this cycle with it.
The problem with Lucha Underground is there's no payoff shows.
Yeah, well, they are having like Ultimo Lucha in August.
Oh,
it's
really?
going to be their first big show.
Well, there should be though. You need the big blow off pay-per-view.
Exactly. And they had a match recently where it was like an Iron Man match. There was like the entirety of a 1-hour show.
Yeah.
Which was a fucking great match.
I love the production value on Lucha Underground. I love the talent.
Yeah, it's made by Robert Rodriguez.
Yeah,
executive produced.
Yeah,
and you can tell he has his fingers all over the look of it because it looks fucking great.
Indie promotions. For me now, Chikara has been my favorite since about 2005.
Yeah, I mean, it's got you've got some good technical stuff. You've got some high flyers. The comedy is the best in the business.
A lot of personal history with Chikara as well.
Yeah.
Because Good Brother, who edits the show, he got me into Chikara because he started listening to Wiggly's wrestling podcast.
Yeah.
And roundabout way, that's what we're on Wiggly's podcast feed right now.
Hi, Wiggly.
So it's kind of got a... But Chikara, for me, like, that was my promotion all through college. I used to get the Smart Mark video DVDs delivered to my dorm.
It was so much fun.
And
it still is.
Oh, yeah. I just haven't kept up with it ever since it came back.
What was it? Like the handsome and mysterious stranger?
Oh, I love that character. Marky Archie. Mixed Martial Archie. Yeah. Like, there's some stuff in Chikara. Yeah. Like, Ultramantis Black is, without doubt, one of my favourite wrestlers ever.
I love Sugar Dunkerton. I think that gimmick's fucking amazing.
I actually have a signed poster of Ultramantis Black.
Really?
Yeah. And fuck you. Sorry. You're gonna bleep that out anyway.
Yeah.
But what was that? No. I got the There's so many. I love a lot of roster in there. Some classic matches as well. Like, even going back to 2004, I always recommend checking out Shane Storm versus Icarus in the Young Lions Cup final.
Yeah,
that match is amazing, and there's these two kids killing themselves. Like, and I'd recommend all you people out there, if you're looking for a real alternative to everything, just nearly go pick any year of King of Trios. Yeah, that's the best way to get into it. Just pick any 3 nights of King of Trios and just watch them all.
Yeah, and there's like, there's a lot of good talent in there, and there's more sort of throw it at the wall and see what sticks.
Yeah.
Just sort of low budget, low fidelity creativity about that promotion that I just fucking love.
And some of the matches are fucking world class.
Yeah, I mean, truly stuff. And another promotion I really like, and this is one, it'll probably be go over the heads of the Americans. It's called Insane Championship Wrestling.
Okay, Scottish one.
Yeah, it's a Scottish promotion. They advertise on Botchamania and stuff like that.
They were featured on NXT recently.
That's right, they were. Yeah. And because Devitt worked a few dates for them. They get a good few fly-in talents, and it's very much built for that audience.
Yeah.
Well,
you're starting to see that a lot more now, where there's just like local big promotions.
Yeah, they have gimmicks that can only really get over in like Scotland or Ireland or England.
Yeah.
They have like a tag team full of chavs called the Bucky Boys, based on a fortified wine called Buckfast that only scumbags drink.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And They have a brilliant chant. It's just like, here we fucking go, here we fucking go. I love that shit. And there is some really good workers on there as well. And they get some fly-ins like, fucking Paul London and Kendrick work for them. Colt Cabana works for them every now and again.
Yeah.
Of course, they have Grado.
Yeah.
You know, the hero of wrestling.
Grado would only get over
Yeah.
in England and Scotland.
True.
Chubby little, like, he looks like the Pillsbury Doughboy.
Yeah.
Squeezed into his tights.
Yeah.
And comes out to Madonna. And,
Yeah.
I love watching these entrances.
Yeah.
Like,
Not a particularly great wrestler.
no, but he's so, like, he does have a real charisma.
Yeah.
Like, you know?
If you don't know who we're talking about, go look up the British Wrestler documentary on Vice.
Yeah.
It's mainly about ICW. And it'll give you a good grounding on what it is that show is. And it's a good, fun show.
Well, to move on, right?
Yeah.
Favorite bad wrestlers?
Favorite bad wrestlers?
Like funny wrestling matches you may remember. Funny bad wrestler slash favorite bad wrestler slash favorite bad matches.
Okay.
Because I can think of a couple of people who absolutely fucking suck, but I love watching them.
First match that comes to mind when I think of favorite bad matches is the Dog Kennel from Hell.
Oh God, with Big Boss Man. And fucking Al Snow.
Yeah, there's a call in that is one of my favorite fucking things in the world. Right, to set this up, this is a cage match inside a Hell in a Cell. Right,
with dogs all around.
With dogs all around. Right, and there's a fucking amazing bit in this. The match was dross. It was atrociously bad, but there's a bit in it where they're trying to get some footage of the dogs being all mean and menacing and all that.
Yeah.
And the dogs are just lying there, just not giving a fuck.
Taking shits and pissing themselves.
And, two dogs start humping
on
live pay-per-view. And Kevin Kelly had the greatest fucking call I've ever heard in wrestling. That, these dogs, they're going to breed. They're going to have more dogs to attack Al Snow and the Big Boss Man. And I remember thinking, how fucking long do you think this match is going to go?
It felt like it went on for 10 years,
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you.
Long enough for puppies to gestate? Okay.
One of my favourite bad matches would be WrestleMania 17, Kane versus Raven versus Big Show.
Does that count as a bad match?
Yes, it's a car crash. It is literally a car crash.
Yeah.
They start driving golf carts halfway through it and crash one of them into the base of the stadium.
Oh, come on. Do you mean to tell me, the devil's favourite demon Kane driving a golf cart isn't one of the funniest fucking things? It should have,
you can tell everything that could have gone wrong in that match did go wrong.
Oh, didn't they run over Raven? Like they ran over his leg?
And fucked them up. And they crashed the cart into the base of the stadium, and you could tell damaged it.
Yeah.
I remember going, Jesus Christ, is it going to cut to the arena and people are going to be falling through, the bleachers or whatever. But that's one of my favourite bad matches.
Yeah.
Like, I love a good shit match like that.
Yeah.
Where it's just like everything falls to bits, and there are wrestlers that are plainly not great that I still love.
Yeah.
Like Crush.
Crush, really?
Man, Crush is cool as fuck, alright? Yeah. He was in Demolition and they were badass, right? And he was Kona Crush, and he had...
Oh, doink, brah.
But he had the Crush finish move where he'd crush your head, the cranium crush.
Yeah.
He had those cool tights.
Yeah. I don't think they know how, physiology works.
I'd crush your head right now and you wouldn't like it.
I probably wouldn't, but I don't think it'd be enough to make me tap out.
But and then he was Bad Crush.
Yeah.
He was Japanese Crush.
Yeah, because that's how that works.
And then he was Biker Crush.
Yeah.
And then he was in Chronic. And he was always awesome. Alright? No,
really?
No, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't.
But I do love how shit he was.
Yeah.
His real name was Brian Adams as well, which is hilarious.
Yeah, one that I love is Hercules.
Yeah,
Hercules Hernandez, Super Invader.
Yeah.
I love that dude. I don't know why. Because because he just went through the gamut of gimmicks and looks for the 80s.
We're talking about gimmicks. One of my favourites.
Yeah.
Max Moon.
Max Moon. Oh my god.
I remember thinking that he really had a jetpack. Because like he had his like jetpack on, and he'd blow CO2 out the back and jump up on the ring steps. And as a kid, I was such a mark. I was there going, "Holy shit, he's flying up the steps!" I wouldn't mind. The more I thought about it, he'd be walking up them quicker. Like
that's a Titanus NL ring gimmick.
Oh, really. Max Moon is amazing. Like if you've never seen Max Moon, WWE.com actually have an entire retrospective on the creation of that character.
Yeah.
And originally,
do they mention what the people were on when they came up with it?
Cocaine.
I would imagine so.
But no, it was like Conan of the Lucha Underground and the Wolfpack and Mexican wrestling.
And Orale!
Yeah. That guy was fucking so over at a certain point.
Oh, fuck yeah.
But, Conan, he was originally going to be Max Moon, but then it was some other dude.
Yeah, it was Paul Diamond.
Yeah, because the...
A.K.A. Kato from Orient Express.
Fucking good team.
Yeah.
But, the suit fit him. So there you go. There's your new gimmick, your Max Moon. And I think on the first episode of Raw, him and Shawn Michaels had a blinder.
Well, they were in a tag team for a while.
Really?
Shawn Michaels and Paul Diamond.
Fucking.
He was his tag team partner before Jannetty.
Jesus.
Yeah.
He was the original Jannetty.
Yeah, he was the original. Yeah. Max Moon was the original Jannetty. That's one of the little bits of trivia that I don't remember my fucking 18th birthday, but I remember that.
Well, it's like I remember the USS Intrepid. Like,
yeah.
But there's tons of guys like that I love seeing them. Like, I know that Typhoon, alright, is not a great wrestler. Right?
God no.
But whenever I see the natural disasters, Earthquake and Typhoon, I'm just like, fucking bad motherfuckers.
Oh, Earthquake was the man.
I love Earthquake.
Yeah.
But like Typhoon was like Poochie. When you look back on it, like, but he's fucking cool. He had cool tights. He's red, black, and white. I have to go now. Red, black, and white tights.
They had a move which I thought was great. You know, the double avalanche.
Yeah.
That they did. It was like, Typhoon had run his big fat trucker gut into the opponent who was in the corner, and then then Earthquake had run his big fat trucker gut up and just sort of heave up on top of Typhoon up on his shoulders. And I was looking at it now, it's like, okay, that would be mildly uncomfortable for like a second.
Yeah.
But, it looked devastating. Yeah. You know what I mean?
The natural disasters are fucking awesome. Like, I still, when I'm watching like old shows on the network and I hear the yes. But and I don't care. Earthquake was great.
Yeah.
But like when I try to jog my mind thinking of matches like that suck that I love, like I mean, a lot of them have Vince McMahon in them. Like they're not great matches, but Vince is so like Undertaker versus Vince McMahon from Survivor Series 2003 is fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
because Vince gushes blood at like vampires would survive decades on the blood that Vince gave out in this match. It's terrible. Like the first punch Undertaker gives him, and he's fucking whap.
Yeah,
and he's bladed out the fuck. Like there's a bit where it's a buried alive match, and basically there's a grave, and you knock the opponent into the grave, and you bury them, and that's buried alive, just like real sports.
Of course.
And there's a bit where Vince is kneeling over the grave, and I'm not kidding. He's in danger of filling it with blood.
Yeah.
6 feet of blood.
Like he could drown this poor bastard.
And it's a miracle the fucking arena didn't fucking fill up with blood.
When I'm thinking of bad matches, do you remember Pat Patterson and Jerry Briscoe?
Oh God, the evening gown hardcore match.
That's atrocious, but it's not the one I'm thinking of. Or maybe it is. It's the one where Patterson got stripped down to his jocks.
Yeah, that's the evening ground match.
And he was rocking a skid mark.
Yeah.
I was like, that is one of the most disgusting fucking things I've ever seen in my life. And I was like, It was one of those moments where it stuck in my mind.
Yeah.
But it stuck in my mind because I'm thinking, why do I watch this? Why am I subjecting myself?
And then Stone Cold Steve Austin came out and you went, oh yeah, that's why.
That's why, yeah.
But,
yeah,
alright,
because he's amazing.
speaking of Stone Cold Steve Austin, favourite matches? Actual good matches?
Favourite matches? Okay.
I've one there I want to bring up, put on the record, that no one else likes.
Okay.
I'm officially able to say, well, for some reason, in 1998, I was watching an episode of WCW Thunder. Okay.
Why?
And there was a match that blew me away between Chavo Guerrero Jr. and Mike Enos.
Really?
I've never seen it since, and I don't want to watch it. I just remember at the time thinking this match was great.
Maybe you were just like you were watching Thunder and you were grading it on a curve.
I don't know.
So it's like, this is the one where they didn't fucking sleepwalk through it, so it must have been amazing.
I was so into it.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I would love to see the match again, and I'd hate to see it again.
Yeah.
You know.
If we're talking just like underappreciated stuff, one series that I loved, that I thought that in a less hot period would have been like a fucking featured feud was X-Pac and D'Lo Brown.
Oh, wonderful series. Never had a bad match.
Yeah, and it's like they were perfect opponents for each other, and they gelled so well. And as well as that, I remember when D'Lo first won the European title off him. He properly celebrated.
Yeah.
It was like Kurt Angle winning his Olympic gold. Whereas like, I'm a fucking champion. Yes, fuck yeah.
I'm sure he's just glad that was like final confirmation that he wasn't going to have to go back to Smoky Mountain to tag up with New Jack and Mustafa again.
Yeah, probably.
To rock and roll again, But no, for me, great matches, there are certain matches that just are classics.
Yeah.
They don't need us to fucking sing their praises.
Yeah.
Like Austin Rock WrestleMania 17.
Yeah.
Flair Steamboat. Fucking all the rest, But I mean, there's a couple of matches that I love that have kind of been forgotten. I remember on an episode of SmackDown in Edmonton in about 2001, 2002.
Yeah.
Chris Benoit, who I will not endorse as a person, but the guy was a hell of a wrestler.
True.
And Steve Austin had one of the greatest matches I've ever seen for the World's Championship, and it made me believe Benoit would win.
Yeah. Steve was in he was an unusually giving mood that night.
Yeah, and that match was just incredible. I remember seeing Eddie Guerrero and Ric Flair tear it up on Nitro one time in '96, and of course at the time going, "Jeez, that was amazing!" And everyone wouldn't believe me.
Yeah,
I'd seen this amazing match between Eddie Guerrero and Ric Flair, and then I'm sure now everyone would be falling over themselves to fawn over that match, two of the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
If back then Eddie Guerrero looked like he was going to be working a carnival though.
True,
that
yeah.
Fucking mustache and mullet combo.
Yeah, he had the look of a man who would sell you a gate.
Yeah,
and if we're talking Nitro matches, pretty much everything involving Rey Mysterio and Juventud Guerrera.
And Dean Malenko.
Dean Malenko
and Rey Mysterio in 95, 96.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, two of them ripped the whole...
From 95 to 97, part of the reason Nitro won so much was on the undercard, you could see fucking Eddie Guerrero versus Ultimo Dragon.
Yeah.
Or Rey Mysterio versus Psychosis. Or Juventud Guerrera versus Dean Malenko. Or, Chris Jericho versus Chris Benoit. It was like absolute wrestling clinics every single week. It was unfucking believable, and you couldn't not watch it.
There's a match I just thought of there, and I've never heard anyone praise this match. One of my all-time favorite matches. I think it's a hidden gem.
Yeah,
Matter of Respect '96 ECW Arena. Shane Douglas versus Too Cold Scorpio.
That was a great match.
They had a half-hour match that was just fucking wonderful. I really can't recommend checking that. That event is brilliant.
Well,
but I really recommend checking that show out.
Well, I figure if we're talking about great matches, I think we should talk about what makes a great match. And there are no hard and fast rules to this.
No. But
the matches we were talking about there, the cruiserweight matches, they were great because there was a whole bunch of really athletic shit. that looked amazing and was probably really hard to pull off.
Yeah.
You know, but if you're to compare and contrast that with like another phenomenal series, just off the top of my head, I know it's one you have a bit of stuff to talk about. Steve Austin versus Dude Love.
Oh my god, I fucking love Dude Love.
Yeah.
Dude Love is my favourite Mick Foley gimmick.
Now the cruiserweights, that was how WCW had great matches.
Yeah.
Dude Love versus Steve Austin is how WWF had great matches.
Yeah.
Because this was WWF over the top storytelling at its finest.
Well, the thing about a great wrestling match is it tells a great story.
Yeah.
You know? And the story is a simple story. It's two men who are fighting and both want to win.
Yeah.
And if you can tell that well, you know?
Yeah.
And it's a simple... That's how you make a great wrestler. They can tell the same story every other wrestler's ever told in their own way, you know? And Steve Austin and Dude Love, like, that is a saga. Like, I don't think we have enough time to explain all the ins and outs of it.
Yeah.
But it was the ultimate... Like, Steve Austin, the ultimate badass, but on top of that, the ultimate, like, punk wrestler.
Yeah.
You know, like, fuck the system, fuck you, I'm going to do it my own way. You know, he wasn't, like, in the best shape or anything, and he was, like, bald and covered in blade scars. And, you know, not fashionable face of the company material.
God, no.
He was replacing Shawn Michaels, like, for fuck's sake. Like,
Yeah.
You know, he was on the cover of Playgirl.
Yeah.
And here's this beer-drinking redneck fucking...
Lord knows you wouldn't want to see Steve Austin on the cover of Playgirl.
No. Like, beer-drinking redneck southern wrestler.
Yeah.
Started wrestling in fucking world class, like, you know. And then you got Dude Love, who's a complete sellout.
Yeah.
Like, went from being, like, a legit fucking underground hero to being McMahon's lackey.
But this is the brilliance of it. They're trying to replace, you know, because he's not face of the company material. They're trying to replace him with someone who's even uglier than he is.
Yeah. And like that, those matches are just... They're works of art.
Yeah,
like,
they're absolutely hilarious.
They're funny, they're exciting, they're physical.
Yeah, they're fucking infuriating at certain points.
They're wonderful.
Yeah.
That's it. Two-match series, Unforgiven 98 and Over the Age of 98. You can't go wrong watching those shows.
Absolutely.
Just great. Like, I mean, I'm going to tie it in here for people who might be more modern fans. What would be your favourite, say, WWE or New Japan matches or whatever of the last, say, 2-3 years?
2-3 years. Okay. Brock versus Cena at SummerSlam.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
That was just the death of Superman.
Yeah.
I mean, and it was a damn near what absolutely made it for me, I think I've said this to you before, was when fans realized what it was going to be.
Yeah.
There was this stunned silence. It was like, oh my god, he's kicking Cena's head in.
Yeah.
And like Cena,
he's not coming back, man.
He's not coming back. And the thing that fucking made it for me was this one kid punctuating the silence the whole time.
Let's go Cena.
Yeah, let's go Cena. And everyone else, I'm surprised as old lad just didn't go, it's not going to help.
He's already dead.
He's already dead, son.
For me, I'm going to go with Cena and Brock as well.
Yeah.
But Cena versus Brock versus Seth Rollins, the Royal Rumble this year.
That was fucking phenomenal.
That's more or less a perfect wrestling match right there.
Sami Zayn versus Adrian Neville from NXT.
One I actually got to bring up is from 2006. Kurt Angle versus The Undertaker, No Way Out.
Oh, fuck yes.
That's pretty much a perfect wrestling match as well. But from the last few years, like CM Punk versus Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam was fantastic.
Although I do have issues with that. That kind of the finish of that match, I have serious issues with.
Well, but Daniel Bryan, of course, winning the world title at WrestleMania 30. That's just fucking wonderful. Yeah. You know.
Well, if you don't love Daniel Bryan, fuck yourself.
Yeah. My favourite match is the one where he won the title from Cena.
Yeah.
Because it just meant so much. You know.
And Cena put him over something fierce. You know?
You know, I'm trying to think like last 2 or 3 years.
Let's see. That is a good question, actually.
Fucking as that 3-way at the Rumble is as good as that. Like New Japan Pro Wrestling is the other bigger promotion in the world. Everyone would like to think it's TNA or whatever, but it's New Japan.
No, it's New Japan.
And New Japan have a way higher standard of in-ring wrestling.
Basically anything involving Hiroshi Tanahashi, Shinsuke Nakamura, Okada, and AJ Styles, Kota
Suzuki.
Ibushi. Anything involving those guys is usually top notch.
But what I'm saying is, I wouldn't feel left out of the great wrestling. Is what I'm saying is, because if you only watched WWE and you saw that three-way, that's as good as any match is.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, absolutely.
Like again, there's sadly CM Punk isn't around. That guy was so great to watch. Like,
yeah.
I mean, his Monday Night Raw matches sometimes maybe weren't the
they weren't the best.
But I'll say this: if you go back, I think it's January 22nd Raw from 2013. Him and John Cena fucking killed it.
Oh, the street fight they had.
No, it wasn't a street fight. They just had
that's right.
The number one contenders match.
That's right. Yes,
wonderful.
It's fucking tremendous. Yeah.
But or maybe it's February 22nd. Now that I think about it.
Well,
but
one or the other. You can find it.
Yeah. Like as a Daniel Bryan, any of his main event matches are usually great.
Yeah.
You know.
Apart from the Kane run. But
yeah, but there's only one match.
True.
So, but like you know, I'm trying to think who had dynamite matches in the Fed.
The Shield and the Wyatts.
Well, no, I would actually no. I'm gonna go with the Shield versus the Rhodes Brothers.
Okay, yeah, because that had Dusty to put it over the top.
Yeah.
And that's still one of my favourite matches, just for the circumstances of how we watched it.
Yeah.
Because
we told the story already.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
But no, like that. The Shield's tag matches were great. You know. If you want to go back a few years more, I would recommend, if you've got the network and you haven't watched these matches, I really recommend checking out everything Randy Orton and Christian did in 2011.
Yeah.
Like, their feud, 2011 is one of the best in-ring feuds I've ever seen.
And if we're talking great in-ring feuds and just great feud in general, one that often gets forgotten when people talk about the great feuds is Shawn Michaels versus Chris Jericho.
Oh, yeah. Which one? They had two feuds.
The one over the boxed misses.
2008.
Yeah, 2008. Shawn Michaels versus Chris Jericho is one of the greatest feuds of all fucking time.
4 or 5 pay-per-view matches.
Yeah,
and it
was all built off of an angle
with Batista in Backlash.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about the...
Oh, no, but that started at Backlash.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Shawn Michaels had a match where Chris Jericho was a special referee, and basically Michaels was feigning injury, and Jericho was like, "You're supposed to be my hero, Shawn."
Yeah.
And then he was like, "I'm going to become a heel and make it cross-eyed."
Yeah.
But
because I'm an honest man.
Yeah.
If you were an honest man, you'd mention the fact Shawn Michaels was cross-eyed.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
But,
because I fucking would.
Oh, God. All right. Well... We've talked enough about the favourite matches.
Yeah.
Worst matches / wrestlers. Worst match you've ever had to sit through.
Oh,
I can think of a few. John Cena versus John Laurinaitis.
Yeah, that was pretty fucking awful.
I
remember it, right? And I think it was In Your House 3. I could be wrong about this. Mabel versus Yokozuna.
Oh, Lord.
Now... If you know, if you're familiar with wrestling from that period, I don't need to say any more. Yeah. But for those of you who don't know, Mabel was a barely mobile dude who weighed about 500 pounds. And Yokozuna, he was working a sumo wrestler gimmick, and he at his peak he weighed about 500 pounds. Yeah. But at this point he had ballooned up to about 650 pounds. Like, these two guys could barely fucking move.
Yeah.
And it was one of those things where, like, it somehow ended up on the floor, and they were trying to, like, exchange punches, and it just ended up with the two of them just sort of leaning on each other, going... I remember and poor Jim Cornette on the outside trying to sell this like it was the biggest fucking thing.
Yeah.
Well,
another match that has been much maligned was the return match between Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior at Halloween Havoc 98.
By today's standards, that's not terrible.
Oh, it's awful.
It's awful, but I've seen, I've sat through like 4 or 5 years of Divas matches.
Yeah,
all of a sudden
yeah.
that's not as bad.
Any match with Alicia Fox in it is probably the drizzling
she's a murderer.
Yeah, the fucking axe murderer.
Yeah,
so,
she's killed more than cancer.
you know, like just the most botchy wrestler ever. But no, like there's a lot of like anything with Randy Orton and John Cena.
Yeah,
Like, oh god, put me to sleep. You know, I care. I couldn't care less. You know.
I think it was like Royal Rumble last year where they had a match, and the fans before they'd even started,
The fans started shitting.
had shit on it, and they like every now and again they tried to reignite the John Cena Randy Orton thing.
Yeah.
Forgetting the fact that is the most overdone feud in the history of wrestling. Like more than Ric Flair versus Dusty Rhodes.
Yeah.
More than fucking Hulk Hogan versus Macho Man. More than any other feud. That is the one that never needs to be seen again. So long as we all live.
Yeah.
No one wants to see it. I don't think they want to see it ever again. The two guys involved.
Yeah, it was piss poor.
Yeah.
You know, they're all. I never enjoyed any of their matches.
Yeah.
You know,
that was at the top. That was at the height of. Well, Cena couldn't sell, and Randy Orton didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the problem with any time they're in the ring together.
I mean, another one that, of course, Sting versus Hogan at Starrcade '97.
Oh fuck!
Which is just depressing.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, that one. It was just the biggest disappointment of a match.
Yeah.
Because that had one of the greatest builds for a pro wrestling match I've ever seen. This one was built for the better part of a year and a half.
Uh-huh.
And it was this slowly unfolding epic about, you know, why Sting had become what he was, which is sort of like a rip-off of the Crow character.
Yeah.
Where his allegiances lay. Was he with WCW? Was he with the NWO? Was he just out for his own business? What was going on in his head? He never said a word. He just hung out in the rafters and looked menacing.
I'll say another Hogan one.
Yeah?
Hulk Hogan versus Sergeant Slaughter, WrestleMania 7. Hogan exposed the business.
Yeah.
He bladed on camera.
Yeah, and that is an affront to fucking decency, that match.
You know,
in many different ways.
But, there's that, there's a bunch of terrible Hogan main events.
Mm.
You know, him and Piper from Starrcade '96.
Oh, fuck. The Age in the Cage.
Yeah, you know, terrible.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, we all have these rosy memories of Steve Austin, right?
Mm.
But there's some shit Steve Austin main events as well.
Oh, yeah.
Him and Undertaker never had a great match together.
What was the match where it was, like, him, Undertaker, and Kane? I think it was, like...
Unforgiven.
Breakdown 98 or something.
Breakdown, and the two of them pinned him at the same time.
Yeah, and that was one of the worst fucking main events I've seen in a long, long time.
And, like, that was another one. I love Undertaker,
Mm.
and I'm a big fan of Kane, but Jesus Christ, did they stink the fucking place up.
Yeah.
Like, what was the...
Well, no one was good on that.
The Inferno matches.
Oh, fuck.
You know, and like the WrestleMania 14 matches and stuff like.
The Inferno match, I'm sure it was a good idea on paper.
There's never been a good fire match. I'll say that, right? Like, the Inferno matches, remember that fucking disaster with the Sheik and Onita and Sabu and FMW?
Oh, yeah,
where the Sheik nearly died because the ring itself caught on fire.
But, like, the thing about pro wrestling, and if you watch shit like Botchamania, a lot of stuff that ends up on Botchamania is when wrestlers introduce an element into the match that is out of their control. Yeah, like say the integrity of a table
or an animal or a fire or something.
Yeah, actually, and fire is the ultimate one. I mean, because fire by its fucking definition, you know, if it gets out of control, it's very fucking dangerous.
There's another one now, Pierre Abernathy and someone else, the guys who became the Submission Squad in Chikara. Oh, okay. Those four guys had a match against each other at King of Trios 2009. One of the worst matches I've ever seen.
Really?
Like, it's absolutely atrocious, and it's famous for being...
Oh, right.
They became a four-man squad in Chikara based on the fact that their match stunk the fucking place out. Like, it was fucking dire. I legit thought that the DVD had a chapter that didn't belong on it. And that's how bad it was.
Like, this was just something from interspecies wrestling or something that had...
No, like, interspecies, they do bad matches on purpose.
Yeah.
You know, but, like, Johnny Tiger has never had a scientific encounter.
No.
But
he's done a lot of chemicals, if that counts.
His matches are fucking genius, though.
Yeah.
But, like, it's... Like, I mean, there's some wrestlers that were just shite.
Yeah.
You know, like...
Dino Bravo,
yeah, the world's most corrupt man.
Yeah.
But, you know, like, Ludwig Borga.
Oh.
Shite.
That sticks out in my mind as one of the worst gimmicks.
Yeah.
Of all fucking time.
Ludwig Borga was rubbish.
Yeah.
Like,
went on to be an MMA fighting politician who hung himself. It was fucking...
Did he kill himself?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Very weird story. It's not a fun ending.
Yeah, but like Ludwig Borga sucked. Zeus sucked.
Oh yeah.
Fucking who else sucked?
El
Gigante. Oh my god, Giant Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Like, one of the worst wrestlers ever.
Yeah.
Like, him and Undertaker at WrestleMania 9
yeah.
is one of the worst matches I've ever seen.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And, like, Undertaker's streak was very spurious thanks to that disqualification victory over the fucking Giant Gonzalez. They weren't all railroaders, let me tell you that, people.
No.
But, yeah, there's plenty of shit wrestlers. I mean, there's wrestlers that, like, they're not shit because... They're just shit because there's nothing great about them.
Yeah.
You know, like, Alex Riley is a guy that I remember I immediately disliked.
Yeah.
You know, just because I was like, what are you?
A jock with the douche smirk.
Yeah, and I mean, like, look, if Alex Riley turned himself around, right?
Yeah.
I'd be the first. Like, I was never really a fan of Seth Rollins.
Yeah. Riley, rage, man.
Yeah, but I was never a fan of Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
You know? But he turned my opinion around on him. Like, you know, I think Kevin Steen is a fucking idiot as a person.
Yeah.
However, I mean, and I like, based on what little personal interaction I've had with the man, he's a fucking insecure douche. But Pound Shop Chocolate. But I'll say this: the guy's work in the last few months has been fucking great.
That's true. Yeah.
You know, and I'm certainly not petty enough to fucking...
Yeah. Didn't he send us fanboys after you?
Something similar, yeah. Basically, I called him overrated on Twitter, and I didn't even tag him in it. And he sent his Smart Army after me. And, fucking...
Well, he is!
The thing that killed me, or I'm sure the thing that probably upset them all, is I didn't care. I just didn't even bother responding to him. So, I did consider... He retweeted me, though, and I told you this, like, I did consider changing my name to Eat Steen Eat. But, you know, and seeing if that was going to get over. But it's, like, as I said, I think the guy, like, he couldn't handle mild criticism and all that, but he, I mean, the guy's work in the ring and on the mic in the last while has been fucking great, and I'll hand it to him, like, you know. And I still think he's overrated as all fuck. Like,
yeah, I mean, you could have been a lot harsher with your criticism there.
Oh, yeah, but, like, I'll give it to him. Like, the guy can do the thing, you know?
That is true. One guy I absolutely fucking hate is this guy on NXT called Mojo Rawley.
Oh, Hype Man.
Hype Man.
Get
I
hype.
fucking hate.
Get hype.
Fuck off.
Stay hyped.
Stay fucked off. Yo, fuck off again, fuck off another 3 times, and then you've fucked off about half as much as you have to Mojo. Fuck right off.
Yeah. See, there's guys like that just have no depth to them, you know?
Well, he's like a big, huge, intimidating dude, and he bounces around like a fucking 5-year-old with ADD.
Well, I want to say this just to clarify, right?
Yeah.
When I called Kevin Steen, Kevin Owens, overrated on Twitter, I didn't actually tag him in it. I just made mention that I felt Kevin Steen was overrated. I didn't say he was bad.
Yeah.
I just said he was overrated. And he Googled himself, found the tweet, and got hurt about it.
How...
I bet he's got a huge Tumblr blog following.
Oh, no doubt.
He was on there talking about how Hoyt's his male picked on him.
Trigger warning, fat shaming.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't call him a fat piece of shit.
Yeah.
I didn't.
I didn't say that he fills up on Pound Shop Chocolate.
I did not say that.
I did not say that he looks like a hobo
Yeah.
who just mugged an NBA player. I did not say that.
Yeah, I didn't say that. He looked like he bought his ring gear in a fucking sports shop in 1994.
Yeah, I didn't say it.
I didn't say that. I'm not that petty.
No.
You know, but anyway, speaking of Kevin Owens, state of business.
State of the business. State of the business is not that good.
I wouldn't say it's not good. I say it's strange.
Yeah,
we're in definite.
We're in interesting times right now. I mean, okay, New Japan is in the ascendancy, and rightly so. It's at one of its very peaks in terms. I mean, what they're putting out now matches like the classics they had in the early 90s.
Haven't done a bad show in probably 5 years.
Yeah, I mean, the level of consistency, the level of the quality, and just the common sense approach to booking.
And the forward thinking and foresight.
Yeah.
Like, they're building stars all the time.
Yeah, and it's fucking tremendous, and it deserves every bit of success it has. However, the rest of Japan is not doing so well.
The rest of Japan, sadly Noah and All Japan and companies like that aren't what they used to be. But there's still a strong indie presence. Michinoku Pro is still going strong, and Dragon Gate and all are doing well. But but I think Japan comes and goes like that, because a few years ago New Japan Pro Wrestling was on the outs, and Noah was filling the Tokyo Dome, and New Japan couldn't have filled the Tokyo Dome with fucking empty seats if they wanted to. True. But it comes and goes, WWE obviously is always going to go strong, because it's the McDonald's of wrestling.
The problem I have with WWE now, I have stopped watching Raw, and I stopped watching around summer of last year. I still follow. I still read the reports of what happened.
I watch the pay-per-views.
Yeah, and I watch the pay-per-views, because the pay-per-views are generally good quality, except for Elimination Chamber this time out. But the problem I have with this...
So Steen and Cena, Owens and Cena had a blinder match at Elimination
But
Chamber.
it wasn't enough to save the show. That was a terrible fucking show. But the problem I have with WWE at the moment is there's a whole lot of nothing going on.
But you know what the problem is there, though? It's not talent.
Yeah.
They've got a lot of talent under contract, but they're just doing nothing with a lot.
Exactly. I mean, the thing is, Raw is 3 hours, and at most 15 minutes of it is of consequence.
Yeah.
The best example I can give you is at at Survivor Series last year, they had a brilliant gimmick main event. It was a traditional Survivor Series match where if the heel team lost, Triple H and Stephanie McMahon would be removed from power, which I was very much in favour of, because Stephanie McMahon was cutting the balls off any wrestler she came into contact with without fucking comeuppance for about a year at that point. And I was just sick of them. I was sick of the 15-minute fucking promos. I was sick of them never getting their comeuppance. I was sick of just them in general. Yeah. And then at the end of it, Dolph Ziggler, he makes this great comeback, and you're thinking, okay, this is going to be fucking, this is amazing. Dolph Ziggler, he's a made man now, and the Authority are gone. It's fucking amazing. 3 weeks later, they're back.
Yeah.
They just fucking retconned the whole thing, making this great main event completely pointless. And then, when the Authority came back, they fired the 3 guys who were with John Cena on that team. Like, the Big Show had already turned heel, so they didn't fire him. And you were thinking, okay, you can do a thing where they come back in like a month or 2 time, and they're pissed off with the Authority and Cena, and they're like a fucking outlaw renegade kind of thing, kind of like the Shield or something like that. No. Cena wins a match like 2 weeks later, and they're back, they've got their contracts back, and they're in the exact same fucking spots as they were before Survivor Series.
Well, I'll say this, I think
it was just a 5 months, it was like 3 or 4 months, so it was a total waste of fucking time.
We're in this weird position right now, where WWE are frantically trying to build stars the wrong way.
Yeah.
But I think they've got a lot of faith in their developmental talent. I think they're anticipating guys like Kevin Owens, like Sami Zayn, like Finn Balor.
Yeah.
And hopefully they have faith in Hideo Itami and
they're big on Itami.
You know, and guys like that, right? Sami Callihan and
Tyler Breeze. People.
Yeah. All these guys, I hope that they have faith in these guys. And I hope that but at the moment, they haven't done enough to build the guys who are the main event now, but weren't bolstered enough.
Yeah.
They don't they just don't book them as strong as they would. Like they had a guy if they had Daniel Bryan in 1988, they would have fucking strapped a rocket to him. But instead they went, we better not make him the top guy because sure that would only make us more money.
Yeah,
you know,
why would we want to do that?
It's counterproductive.
And there are people in their mid card. Maybe they wouldn't be the next Stone Cold or whatever, but they could do a job on top.
Yeah.
You know, people like Wade Barrett could be a great main event heel, but he never really got the shot.
And the problem is they're overexposed as well.
Yeah,
you know,
and you could take Wade Barrett off TV for like a year now, and he comes back and he's still Wade Barrett. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the talent's overexposed. I think they kind of need a bit of a forest fire on the main roster. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they need to
they need to fucking burn out a lot of dead wood. You know,
Big Show, Randy Orton, Kane, guys like that need to just go.
And like nothing against those three guys. They were well. I had no problem with Randy. You know, they were good in their time.
They all had at least a good year.
Yeah, they all had.
Kane is the best of the three.
Yeah, they all had a good run at some point. They all had a few good matches, but their time is up. You know,
my time is now.
Yeah,
but
Cena can stick around. He's willing to put some people over.
Cena, I will go on record and say that guy deserves a lot of credit for the work that he's done to build up the mid card this year.
Yeah, and he's had some of the best matches of the last 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, and power to him.
Yeah,
but
by the way, we just said that on the internet. Please send your hate mail to Johnny Capcom.
Don't even bother. I don't fucking care.
Actually, send it to me. Go on ahead.
Yeah,
at Robot House Sean, come at me, motherfuckers.
But my hope for the future is that they get behind Finn Balor and make him the world's champion.
Yeah, just because we want a real Irish world champion.
Yeah.
No offense to Big Shamo, you're not one of us, son.
But
you didn't grow up with the smell of cow shite in your nostrils, all right? You're not one of us. But
no, the thing with Sheamus, Sheamus is fine, but he's not the best we've had to offer.
Yeah,
Devitt is
absolutely.
Balor is. He's
by a long way.
And I would like. I think that guy is just phenomenal, and I'd love to see him become the champion. And I think it doesn't matter where he's from. I'd be behind him anyway. You know.
Fuck yeah.
But it doesn't hurt that he's from Bray.
Yeah.
You know. And people in Bray need something to bolster them,
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, ever since Glen Rowe got cancelled, Wicklow hasn't had
I know they can't even win the heroin champions.
That's all moved to Longford now. Come on.
So, you know, but no, I always have hope for wrestling that it'll come good, and they're you know.
You're far more optimistic than I.
But times of drought always are followed by times of prosperity.
See, I can see it happening where Kevin Dunn is going to take one look, listen to Balor cut a promo going, he's got a funny accent, fuck that guy, and just kill the guy stone dead. I can see it happen. Well,
I have hope for the future because I'm not a pessimist when it comes to wrestling. I always want to believe that it'll come good in the end. And I think that's the kind of sentiment we should leave the people on.
I think so.
Obviously, the future of wrestling we have a lot of hope for, but we hope you'll join us in looking back at its insane past.
Yeah, one of the weird curiosities of wrestling's past.
With Titanus and El Ring, and we'll bring you plenty more videos once we get them done. We hope that you found this interesting to listen to, and it was a nice little holdover. We have a proper episode of the Cannon Canon out. We don't know when Cannon Canon will be back. Maybe 2 weeks' time, like normal. Maybe 4 weeks' time. Who knows? We may need to take a little hiatus. But we hope you'll check out the videos. They're on Zombie Floor Cleaner's channel on ZOMBI.
Floor Cleaner, yeah.
Yeah, Floor Cleaner on YouTube, and you can check those out there. If you just search the Cannon Canon Podcast or Titanus and Elrain Commentary Clash, you'll get those.
Yeah.
You can keep up with us. We're the Cannon Canon Podcast on Facebook, or better yet, you can just like and keep up with us on the Giant Media Ball page. If you'd like to hear us do more speciality episodes like this, I'm sure we'd be bonus episodes. We'd be more than willing to oblige. We can do like stuff about video games or
fuck yeah,
fucking like fantasy movies or something.
Yeah,
I don't know, novels.
Yeah. What's your favorite porn?
Yeah. Ooh.
Well, there was some great stuff out of France in the early 80s.
Well, I was reading about the public disgrace videos in John Ronson's new book.
Oh, God, yeah.
And they're going, I'm into strong-style pornography now. But, the way Antonio Inoki would have done it.
Yeah, just a lineup of teenage girls for him to slap.
Well,
in
that's
the face.
the thing. When I heard about the women getting slapped, I was there going, "Why don't they get Inoki in?
Yeah,
just slap people, trust me. If you want to see bizarre rituals, look up videos of Antonio Inoki slapping people.
Yeah,
it's considered a great honor in Japan.
There's a brilliant one. They did it. I think it was at a Pride show. Pride FC back in the day
with what's his name?
Gary Good. Yeah, where Inoki slaps Gary Goodridge's sister, and now Gary Goodridge, he was like the king of one of the kings of Japanese MMA at the time. Yeah. A big bad motherfucker.
Yeah,
the kind of person whose sister you shouldn't slap.
I don't know. He just tagged her one.
Yeah, he just tagged her one. And, he was sort of looking over at Goodridge, and Goodridge smiled. It was like, okay,
it's like one of the weird ones.
He won't kill me.
Lyoto Machida's, like, one of his debut matches.
Yeah.
When he won, he walked out of the ring, jumped the barrier, walked over and kneeled in front of Inoki, and Inoki just fucking slapped him across the face. Like, it's a weird type of deal, but, that's the kind of porn I'm into now. Is Antonio Inoki slapping women, But, that should be a porn subgenre. I don't care.
Well, there's, I'm not sure what has more subgenres, porn or metal at this point.
Yeah.
And
but I'm not into beating up women porn.
I don't know if
that's a joke.
You ever hear of quantum fetish theory?
Yeah, where
if you can imagine a fetish, some fucker has a forum dedicated to it.
Oh look, there's somebody who's probably watches videos of men and women licking cat hair off stuff.
Yeah.
I'm
sure there is.
And it's sitting in this room, we could make a fortune. But we'll as I said, we'll leave it there. We didn't mean to devolve into pornography speak. But them's the breaks. Yeah. And as I said, we'll be back in a few weeks, and we'll probably do another bonus episode just for the laugh. Maybe not in a marathon session like we've done today, but needs must.
True.
It was fun to record. I hope you dug it. If not, if you don't like wrestling and you didn't stay here and you're not listening to this, obviously, we hope it won't. Or if you did and you were bored off your fucking tree, we hope you'll stick with us, because the same old Cannon films discussion will be back in 2 weeks' time. And if you're hearing a lot of moving around and dropping and stuff, we had to let our cat back into the room. She was going nuts.
And she's after breaking her high jump record.
Yeah. Oh, she does that all the time.
Fuck me, that's impressive.
Yeah. And so that's what's happening. Yeah. Anyway, we'll leave you to it. And I don't know, fucking, even if we're going to have a bit of music under this episode. But if we do, sure, why don't we play the Rockers theme now? There you go.
Sounds. With the best things wanna be. And turn to the depths of the sun of be. And turn to the depths of the Put your drum in your hand.